Wow, look at all those faces. Not quite like being in the room together, but it certainly is nice to see so many people joining us. We have done this as a Zoom meeting, so everyone will have a chance to have their cameras on and to turn on their microphones as we go throughout. Because it is a meeting, you guys will control how you're going to view the meeting today. So for those of you who are very familiar with Zoom, you know that up in the right-hand corner, there's a view button, and you can choose to see just the person who's speaking, or you can view to keep everybody on the screen as we go through this, if you want to see everybody's smiling faces. So you're in control of your own view. And we're going to keep this informal. It really is a chance for us to connect with you all. I see that people are still kind of coming in from the meeting waiting room, so we'll just give it another moment before we get things under control and get things started. So if anybody, there is under reactions is where you're going to find your raised hand button if you would like to ask a question or make a comment anytime. That's where you're going to, if you use that function, it'll allow us to see who wants to make a comment or have their microphones live. So that's where you'll find that. And we know that it's lunchtime. So if, as we get started, and you want to turn your camera off because you're enjoying your lunch while you're tuning in, that's totally fine. So we understand that everyone's got very busy days. And so if you need to turn your camera off throughout this, please feel free to do so. Okay, we're just going to wait another minute. There's still people coming in. Okay. We're up to 51 people, so we have over 70 registered for today. So I think we are going to go ahead and get things started in just one moment. Okay. So here we are, we're ready to go. Welcome to our first quarter membership meeting for 2022. This is exciting to see everybody. As you can tell, I'm just thrilled that so many of you took the time out to join us. My name is Suzanne Andrews. I'm the CEO here at the Quinte West Chamber. I get to lead a great team of ladies here, and we've all been sort of busy getting things ready, not only for today's meeting, but just sort of kicking off a brand new year for you all. At this meeting today, we have 2 items of business for our membership meeting, and then I'm going to host an informal discussion on the current issues that you're all dealing with. And then we're going to wrap up with an update on the new app that we're launching as part of our membership renewal, and give you an update on the rapid test program and the Shop Quinte West campaign and some of the other things that we're working on. With over 70 businesses on the call today, I would ask everyone to mute your microphone unless you are speaking, and use the raise hand function if you'd like to speak to a topic or ask a question. I'm going to now ask our incoming president, Rick Davies, to chair the meeting and to call it to order. So Rick, it's all yours.
Well, happy New Year, everybody. And I guess we have over 20 members. So we do have quorum on the call today. So we can proceed with our items of business. do we have a slide with the directors coming up, Suzanne? There we go. So I'd like to present the slate of officers and directors for 2022. I'm sure there's a lot of familiar faces on there. Matt Doty is our vice president. Brent Parsons is our treasurer this year, and rounding out our executive is Zach Card as our secretary. Our past president is Carrie Gregoire. We got Bev Woods on board, Lisa McMurder, Sean Lozier, and Tamantha Denny's, Kelly Martin. And our two newbies this year are Eileen Brown and Rosie Willette, who are new to the board this year. So welcome on board. And then I guess just a motion to approve the slate as presented by myself to approve the slate of directors for 2022. And on your screen, you'll see a little survey. Just make your selection and submit.
Yeah, so by raising your hand, could someone please move the motion and somebody second? So I see Lori has raised her hand to move that motion. And is there somebody else that's willing to second that motion? I see Amber Darling has done that, so that's great. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, now I guess just a review of the votes. 100% approved. And
Perfect.
So passed. So now that I'm officially the president for 2022, I'd like to thank Carrie Gregoire, of course, for the great work that she did through a very challenging year last year, of course, leading us through our second year of COVID. And I just have a few words that I'd like to add myself. Firstly, I'd like to express how honored I am to be named the president of the Quinte West Chamber of Commerce for 2022. I really do look forward to working with our board of directors and of course the amazing staff at the chamber under the guidance of the chamber manager and CEO, Suzanne Andrews. The Quinte West Chamber of Commerce now represents over 450 businesses and organizations within our community. And that translates to over 7,000 employees that work for chamber members. As we continue to navigate our way through this pandemic, now more than ever, it's important that we do support all of our local businesses. And as we look forward to the coming year and its potential surprises and challenges, the Quinte West Chamber of Commerce will continue the work of building strong relationships to develop Quinte West to its greatest potential, where our community and businesses thrive. And that's it.
Okay. So Rick, I think now we're going to go into the next order of business, which is to approve the new members.
So in 2021, the board approved 44 new members, and there's slides up on your monitor. And can I get a motion to ratify the 2021 members as approved by the board of directors? So we need
someone to move the motion. So I just need someone to raise their hand. I see Ian Acton and Karen Sharp, who's representing the city of Quinte West. So perfect, thank you. And John Smiley as well. So we've got 3 people, so we're good. We've got it all covered.
All right. And so that is passed. And what do we have next, Suzanne? We did that. I think that's pretty much all I've got on my slate here. Suzanne, did I miss anything?
Yeah, no, just wanted to let everybody know that there is no other business from the board at this time. Anything else we have will come up at our AGM, which will be around the end of March, beginning of April. And I just wanted to know before we get into the discussion, if there's any sort of chamber business coming from any of the membership that they would like us to address at this time. Not seeing any, Rick. So I think that you are good to ask for a motion to adjourn the formal part of the meeting today.
Okay, well, can I get a motion to end the formal part of the meeting?
And I see that Brenda has raised her hand, so that's great. Thank you.
And the seconder?
We don't really need one, but certainly we don't really need a seconder. Just someone to move is fine. Okay, so that's great. Well, we try. I see Stefan from Stoneberg Cottages has put his hand up to second the motion, I'm assuming, unless he has something that he'd like to say at this point. I think it was just to second the motion. Okay, great. So that's sort of the formal part of the meeting. We appreciate you taking the time to join us today and help us take care of those 2 items of business. We are federally incorporated under the Board of Trade Act. And so there's certain things that we have to do to keep our governance in order. And that's 2 of them. So thank you for that. And now we can kind of get on to a discussion around some of the issues that our businesses are dealing with at the moment. So of course, first up has to be, the public health restrictions. It certainly has been, causing a lot of stress for businesses, but also, even with the announcement, and while it was very well received that, yes, we're taking some steps forward, I got a lot of emails from businesses who didn't know sort of what step of the framework we are now in, because before, we had the different steps, and then we've had the different colors. And then, the announcement at the beginning of January was to go into a modified step 2. And then with the announcement earlier this week, are we still in step 2? Have we, moved into a modified step 3? And so there was certainly a lot of confusion. I have sent an email to our great contacts at Hastings Prince Edward Public Health, and we are actually in the process of setting up a live Q&A with them once again, which have been really well received by you in the past. And so stay tuned for a date on that once we get it finalized. But from what I've been told is at this point, we're still in the modified step 2. A lot of the orders that were given on the 5th of January are still in place, such as, having employees work from home if they're able to work from home. Any of the restrictions that were announced on January 5th, if they weren't changed in the announcement this week, then they are still in place. So as an example, retailers were at the 50%. They're still at the 50%, even though nothing was said about it this week. If it wasn't mentioned, it's still in place from the earlier announcement. So, trying to keep things as simple as we can going forward. We'll continue to send those updates out as needed. And at this point, I just wanted to open it up if there was any business on the call right now that had a certain a part of those announcements that they have some questions about or some comments about, and I'm happy to open up the floor, and you can turn on your microphone at this time if you have anything. Just use the raised hand function, and we'll get you going live. Okay, I'm not seeing anybody. Thanks for everybody for all the feedback that you send in on the updates that we've been sending out for the last 2 years now. They continue to be well received by all of you, so we're going to continue to keep those going out. And that's sort of where we can really put those links and the details of any government announcements, public health restrictions to you. So I'm going to take it that the fact that nobody has any questions right now means that my update this week answered a lot of your questions. Whether or not it was good news or bad news, at least you had your questions answered. One of the biggest issues that's been coming through my inbox is with public health no longer doing the contact tracing and the follow-up and the testing, the employers have suddenly found themselves in the role of public health officer. They're the ones that are having to tell their employees what the isolation rules are, whether they need to self-monitor, self-isolate. I've been getting more and more complicated situations, and employers really are finding it very difficult to answer the questions. Examples would be, one employer had a family of 4. One family member tested positive, so everybody had to isolate for 5 days. Well, within that 5 days, another family member tested positive. So then they reset the 5 days again. And then towards the end of that, another family member tested positive. And so, what was a 5-day isolation is now becoming a 15-day isolation. And there's no clarity around, do all family members, if they've recovered, from COVID, still have to be isolating with the rest of their household? And so these are kind of some of the really complicated questions that employers are having, and they're not comfortable being the ones to not only advise their employees, but also their entire households who have to go along with the restrictions as well. So so we're going to be doing this live Q&A with Hastings Prince Edward Public Health. For those of you that have joined us in the past, Roberto and Andrew are fantastic about answering the questions, and sort of they know the rules and can sort of give that public health interpretation on it, which I think which is what a lot of employers want. They just don't want to make the mistake of advising somebody incorrectly, and none of us are the experts on this. I think we all know a lot more about public health than we ever thought we would need to know. So anyway, so stay tuned for that. I've just said to them, the sooner the better. So I'm hoping that we can have something, a date next week or the week after at the latest, to get that information. And I'll continue to finalize a package of information that employers can use to kind of work through the different scenarios that they might be facing with their employees. The other part of that too is the sick day benefit through WSIB. A lot of employers haven't used that because it was only 1 or 2 employees that were off, and it wasn't becoming a huge expense. But now, because of this latest wave, there's more employees off. And so the cost of having employees off for the length of time while they're isolating is becoming quite a burden for a lot of businesses. So there's more and more uptake of that program right now. So we're working through the Ontario Chamber and with WSIB just to try and get some real details on that. I think most employers don't want to deal with WSIB unless they really have to. And so most just kind of aren't necessarily jumping at the opportunity to deal with them. But we're going to try and get some clarity around some of that program to make it a little easier for you as if you have to access that program. Any questions on any of that? If you have any, just raise your hand or speak up. And so the next thing I wanted to kind of lead into, which is a bit of a good news, because of the announcement this week, we are able to move forward with our State of the City address with Mayor Harrison. It was scheduled for next Friday, and we had postponed it because of the restrictions. We did it as a virtual event last year, and we really didn't want to do it as a virtual event this year for a number of reasons. Number one would be, I think a lot of us are getting tired of virtual events and want to be able to get together in person if we can do it in a way that's safe. But number two, we wanted to be able to support our meeting spaces and caterers by having a live event. By going to a virtual event, they lose out on that opportunity to do a bit of business. And so we felt it was better to postpone and be able to actually give some business to one of our local meeting halls and a local caterer, and have everybody come together that feels comfortable doing that. So the new date is going to be February the 11th. It is going to be at Heroes Landing, and it will be a catered lunch. So for those of you that are vaccinated, you will be able to join us for that, and tickets are on sale now. So hopefully you can. It's always a great opportunity to connect with many of the city councilors and city staff, to get an update on a lot of the great things that the city has done over the past year. And maybe more importantly for you guys, have a look at what's in the works for 2022. I know David Clazy, the CAO, is also going to give an update, and the mayor. And so it is a great chance for people to kind of find out what's going on in our city. And so I hope that you can join us. We are looking at a way to record that this year, because we know that not everybody will be able to join us. Either they're not vaccinated or they're just not comfortable coming into a space with other people, or they're just, have a conflict that date. And so we plan on recording it so that we can share it out with those that are unable to be in the room that day. So then moving on to the next item on my list of things that we wanted to chat about today is the rapid test program. It has been really well received. We were one of the first chambers that was able to jump on this program way back in May. It had initial uptake was pretty good. But then as more and more employees were getting vaccinated, the guidance at that time was that you should only be using it on unvaccinated staff. A lot of employers didn't really see the need to use them as much as they could have. Of course, that all changed at the end of November with this latest wave of COVID. And the guidance has completely changed, because we all know now that whether you're vaccinated or unvaccinated, you could be bringing the virus into the workplace. And so it really was a matter of starting to test everybody again. The demand was amazing. I have to take this chance to thank Morgan Scott for all the work she's done in managing that program. And I know that Jennifer and Erin and Christine all helped her as well, to especially in that rush right before the holidays. Our inventory was getting extremely low at that point, and we weren't sure when we were going to get more, because the information we were getting from the province was very sketchy. We didn't really know, they wouldn't really give us a date. Our order of tests from December 10th never got delivered. And so we were splitting up boxes and trying to make them go into as many workplaces as we could. So big thanks to those ladies. They really took that on and did a great job of getting it out. And we've got over 12,000 tests on order, 4,000 from our December 10th order that we never received, and then an additional order of 8,000. That's to make sure that we can meet the demand that we received throughout, leading up to the holidays and throughout the holidays. Morgan, did you want to just say sort of how many orders we have waiting for us once that shipment comes in?
Currently, right now, as of this morning, there's 192 businesses that are on the wait list. Everyone's been super patient, just waiting for Ontario, the province, to get the order in. And I'll contact all those businesses once we receive more information on a date.
Yeah, so and thanks, Morgan. And we gave out over 15. So far we've given out 15,000 tests. I would say probably at least half of those in the couple weeks leading up to the holidays. It was a massive demand for the tests. I've heard from the ministry that we should have a better idea of when to expect our shipment today or early next week. We're expecting them within the next 2 weeks. So as soon as we get them, we'll start to get them out. We've also asked the ministry for new guidance on how to use them, because like with everything, it keeps changing. So we really want to make sure that employers have a really clear direction on how to use them, testing all your staff, how many times a week should you be testing, and what to do when you get a positive test, all these things. So along with the tests, once we get them, we'll have new guidance for everybody as well as to how to use them to keep your workplaces safe. So I do see that Wade is on the call today, which is great, because the next item of business that I wanted to talk about is the accessibility upgrades that we've done to our building. And I'm not sure if Brianna is on the call as well from the Small Business Center, but she led a great program throughout 2020 and 2021. We did our application in 2020, got approved in 2021 through the Government of Canada's Enabling Accessibility Fund. She's a youth accessibility leader and was really helpful in number one, in encouraging us to apply for it, and then helped us with the application itself. We just sent out a press release this week along with a photo, and Wade is on the call, and Wade did a bit of an audit of our building and helped us identify the areas that needed to be upgraded. And Wade, without putting you on the spot too much, are you good just to say a few words about the accessibility upgrades that we did and about the EAF program?
Can you hear me?
We can, yep.
Yeah, I know with the EAF program, there's funding out there for small businesses to become more accessible in our area. Accessibility, is a very important thing. We have a higher percentage than the rest of the country just because of location and the military and everything. Persons with disability, it represents almost 15% of the total customer base. And so becoming accessible now is even easier with new innovations. It's simple, not very much, almost zero construction, zero downtime on a business. And, the help is there for small businesses. So if anybody needs any help, they do want an audit first so that they recognize where the situation and what is needed. But once that's done, it's actually pretty easy. It's just time consuming to get the funding for it. So if anybody wants to proceed in that, let me know. We can, and because it's my community, I don't really make a lot of money off of it. I just want to make the community more accessible for everybody. So I give massive discounts and I don't charge for the consulting.
Yeah, thanks, Wade. He was a great help for us at our building. We were lucky that we were mostly accessible already, but certainly just the things that made it even better, especially in our bathrooms and other areas and the thresholds into our building and stuff. So thanks to Wade for the help that he did and for sourcing the right products for us. Everything from automatic, our light switches in our bathrooms were too high. So he suggested we just put an automatic light switch on a motion detector one. So that solved that problem without having to bring an electrician in to lower the light switches, and the alarms that were needed and just different things like that really helped us a lot. Replacing the doorknobs on our interior doors from a round knob to a lever type knob instead. So a lot of them were very simple solutions, and I really want to thank Wade for his help and with his wife Arlene. They're a great duo for those of you that know them, and they came and did a lot of the install, actually all of the install here at the chamber themselves, which was amazing. I just wanted to thank Brianna once again. And from what I understand, she's in the process of, she's applied again to be a youth accessibility leader again for this year. And there should be more opportunities coming up after June of this year. So we'll definitely share that information out when the funding is available again. And hopefully, if any of you are looking at finding some solutions for your business, where we can help you with that and point you in the right direction. And I think what I'm going to do now is pull up a slide, because one of the exciting things that we're doing is we're working on the renewal package. They are going to be going out the first week of February. They were going to go out last week, but with COVID and with the big snowstorm, actually there's been some delays in some of the materials being delivered that are going to be part of the renewal. So they're going to go out the first week of February. So part of that is the new business directory and member package with your member-to-member discount cards for all of your employees. And a new item that we are launching is the Member Plus app. So for all of you that like to do things on your phone, this is a great way for you to look up information on other members, to see what events the chamber has. You can find the event, you can sign up through the app. If you've got the discount card and you're just not sure what discounts are available, it's got a list of all the member-to-member discount programs, any hot deals. If you guys are going to have a hot deal that you want to share out to the whole community, let us know and we can post that hot deal, or you can actually go in and do it yourself. It's got links to our any press releases and things like that we have. So all you are going to do, if you've got your phone handy now, you can actually scan that QR code that's on your screen, and it'll take you to a landing page where you can either go to the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store and get the app and download it. I believe Jen has put in the chat a generic login and password. If you are main contact, or you've already got a login for the chamber, if you use it to log into our events and things like that, you can use the one you already have. But if you or any of your employees want to use the app and you don't have that already, you can just use the generic one, and it will allow you to log in and see all the great things happening at the Quinte West Chamber. So that is the app. Does anybody have any questions about that? We are excited because we know that everyone's doing more and more things mobile. We are actually in the process right now of updating our website with a new look and new information going to be available through our website. But the app is just another way for people to connect and see what we're up to. And then I think the last item of business that we wanted to talk to you about today was a wrap up of the Shop Local program. As many of you know, we did receive $94,000 worth of funding to really sort of promote shopping local, shopping Quinte West as much as we could. Christine Drage is on the phone, and she's done the work of coordinating this. We get in the reporting that we do, they're looking at how many suppliers we use, how many businesses we're helping out, you know, the impact and the reach of the advertising that we're doing. So Christine's been working with a lot of different suppliers here in Quinte West, and worked with our partners, the City of Quinte West and the Trenton DBIA. We've been partners for a long time, 14 years. I didn't realize it had been that long, but 14 years since we first started the Shop Smart, Shop Local, Shop Quinte West. So it was time for a refresh. So I don't know if you guys want to put the slides up that kind of shows the refresh of the Shop Local campaign that we've been working on since the end of September. As you can see, we came up with a logo that can be used all of us together, or if the DBIA is doing something, or the city is doing something, or the chamber is doing something, and we don't, it's on our own, we can just use a logo with our own logo on it. I hope you've all seen the beautiful new banners in downtown Trenton and downtown Frankfurt. These have all been designed by Eric at Digital Da Vinci, who I see is on the call today. Thank you, Eric, for the great work that you did in helping us to actually visualize what we were trying to tell you, what we wanted, something fresh and dynamic for the shopping local message. We've also got some templates. So for those of you that like to reach your customers or your clients through social media, we've got a host of templates that you can use. You just add your own picture to the background, and you can also use it as a way to spread that shop local message. And we've done some print advertising. We continue to do that. The program actually just got extended to the end of February. It was supposed to wrap up at the end of next week. So we're happy to get that extension so we can sort of really plan out the last phase of this campaign. But we had a nice full page ad in the Watershed magazine. We've been in Total Sports magazine. We've been in the Trentonian a few times. Also, we've, if you want to go to the next slide, we've supported quite a few events, whether it was from the city with we supported their Christmas market, some events from the DBIA, individual businesses have been doing some great events as well. And we did a video series. One of the things we really wanted to do with this campaign was encourage people to get out and check out the different neighborhoods of Quinte West. We are a big municipality, and so we've got a series of videos that sort of showcase a business that's in a hard-hit sector in different neighborhoods that make up Quinte West. And then we did another video series that focused on the different experiences you can have in downtown Trenton. So I think what I'm going to do now is just a little treat before we close off today is ask Christine. These are very short videos, just a minute. We're going to show one video from the Shop the Neighborhood series, and I believe there's 14 of those videos, 12 or 14 of those videos. Or 12 or 14, there's quite a few. And so you can go online to check them out. And then we're also going to show one of our series of the experiences in downtown Trenton. So here we'll go with the first one.
Hi, I'm Erin Keats, and my husband Adam and I own Trenton Deli and Bakery. We are now relocated in the West End, and we're a European import store. We purchased a little deli downtown Trenton, and the reason why we stayed here is how supportive the community is. Quinte West is so supportive of young entrepreneurs and small businesses. We love it here. We live just around the corner. Our neighbors shop here, and the West End is up and coming and bustling. We can keep our staff employed, we can keep our family fed. This little town pulling together and getting us through, the tough times and all working together. It's just so heartwarming.
I think we had a few internet issues with that, but you get the idea anyways. But to see the video, how it should be seen, they're going to all be on a new landing page that we have for Shop Quinte West. It's going to be quintewestchamber.ca/. And that's where we're going to have all of the templates for businesses, the videos, any contests that are running. So even though the funding is wrapping up at the end of February, of course, Shop Quinte West, whether it's through the chamber or through the city or the DBIA or through local businesses, We want to keep that message going, especially through 2022, which we know is going to be a year of recovery. When this money was first given out at the end of last summer, I think the governments all thought that was going to be the start of the recovery for businesses. Of course, they didn't know what was coming at us next. And so for many businesses with this latest round of public health measures and with other restrictions in place, the recovery hasn't even really started for many businesses. And so it's going to be really important that we continue to encourage consumers to shop wisely, keep their money in their own community, look to find ways to support, whether it's entertainment, restaurants, gyms, all those places that have really been hard hit and really need the whole community. So we're going to continue to really promote that message through 2022 and beyond. And Christine, should we try and do another video and see if maybe we have a little bit better luck this time? So this next video is going to be from our Shop Downtown Trenton series, and I hope you enjoy it.
Cool.
There we go. So again, gives you another idea. I think we've got 6 of those in that series. Lavender Lane Media did those videos for us, and it was great to work with them and for them to kind of put together 6 different experiences you can have in downtown Trenton. So we've got a few other videos that we're working on, which we'll be happy to share in the future once they're complete. But that's basically gives you a really good idea of what we've been doing with the Shop Quinte West message. I see that Linda Lau from the city is on, and so is Karen, and Lisa is on from the DBI. Do any of you guys want to say anything about it? Karen, go ahead.
Thank you, Suzanne. And thank you, Chair Rick, and the executive and the members that are here today. I just wanted to really highlight the work of Suzanne and the Quinte West staff and Jennifer and so forth, because behind the scenes with the kickoff or the new campaign for Shop Local, Shop Smart, Shop Quinte West, I love hearing those commercials or that advertising, and they're working really hard. I know we're not always together, but there is a lot of work being done in cooperation, including the DBIA and many of the member partners. So I just wanted to highlight that. I was able to attend a bit of that kickoff, and the videos and the opportunity to take that and apply that to your business is really great. And in these challenging times, I also, Suzanne, I think it's a great idea that you're going to work with the health unit for the members to have the Q&A, because they are a great resource and things have been changing and changing and changing. And this way we'll continue to do all of our collective best to work towards that. And I know we haven't been able to have the events we'd hoped, but we had a lot of good things down at the waterfront and at Frankfurt Tourist Park, and we'll continue to work with all of you and communicate that. I just also wanted to highlight, as Suzanne said, the mayor will have a State of the Address on February 11th, and I hope many of you can attend. And also, if it's Zoomed, that will allow that opportunity as well. And I just wanted to thank everyone and appreciate being here today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Karen. We have a great relationship with the city, with the staff and with the counselors and with the DBIA, where the three of us together worked really well on this campaign. And we look forward to sort of finding new opportunities to spread the message as we go forward. And, if any of you have an idea of how we could be using the Shop Quinte West message, by all means, send me an email. We're always looking for new ways to spread the word and get, try and engage with consumers. So I think that is it. We've taken up 45 minutes of your time. I hope that you felt it was time well spent. Thank you to our new president, Rick, for chairing the member meeting and for welcoming all of you today. We've got lots going on this year, and I think it's going to be another exciting year for the chamber. We had great growth in 2021. We're one of the chambers that's really growing across the province, and I think it's because we have such a dynamic business community, and it continues to evolve and change. We're seeing a lot of more young people either taking over businesses or starting their own businesses as they become self-employed. We're seeing a lot of women in business. Women entrepreneurship in our region is really strong, and that's fantastic to see. We're seeing more people of color decide to start businesses here or bring their businesses here. Our community has really changed, and we're going to have a video that's coming out probably within the next 3 weeks that's going to really sort of celebrate that changing face of the Quinte West business community and celebrate the entrepreneurship that is here from different groups as our community just continues to grow, and more people are finding out what a great place this is to not only live and play, but to have your business as well. So thank you, everybody. Thanks to my team who do a great job of making myself and the board look good. And we'll see you all either at the State of the City or at our next event. Okay, thank you.